I made sure the cat didn't get in, closed my shack door, put up the sign, radio in use. Attention Grants Pass, GMRS radio operators. This is WRDY 409. My name is Doug, and I'll be your net control station for the Grants Pass AmRRON net. This net meets every Sunday at 7 p.m. on this repeater. Give me a second, let me wet my whistle. All right, Crystal Light Lemonade. Gotta love it. All right, this is week, hope I'm right here. Ron, I'm sure, will correct me. Week 109er, as in Dave says, Niner, 109 of the AmRRON net. AmRRON stands for the American Redoubt Radio Operators Network and is a nationwide disaster preparedness network made up of patriot-oriented radio operators. We're here to help during times of disasters and civil defense. Everyone is welcome, and if you're a God-fearing, freedom-loving, patriot-oriented radio operator, you're in the right place. Stand by. And you can learn more by visiting us at AmRRON.com. Let me spell AmRRON phonetically for you. Alpha, Mike, Romeo, Oscar, November. This is only a practice net. To learn more about our emergency communications plan, you can find the AmRRON signals operating instructions on our website. Also be sure to visit our local AmRRON webpage at Sierra Oscar, AmRRON.com. I've got plenty of radio recommendations on the cheap side for you. There's always better radios, but it'll get you started. Trip files that I created that you can download straight in your bail thing, and lots more. Break. All right, we are family friendly. You want anybody with a license to feel free to talk, even a child, and several already do. So remember, it's not ham radio. Not that ham radio is not beneficial, because I'm a ham radio operator as well. My call is W4 WAC. And probably close to half the people on here are ham radio operators as well. So let's keep it simple. The only expectation is courtesy, patience, and helpfulness. Also remember to announce your entire call sign every 15 minutes while using this repeater. Break. All right, why do we even do this? The goal of this net is to equip all citizens in Southern Oregon that can hear my voice to be able to have and share information during a disaster or extended power and or communications outage. To further that goal, it's also important for you to cultivate relationships with like-minded neighbors using the Channel 3 project. You'll hear more about that later. Remember, even if you checked in with me on the repeater, it's still important for you to discover your skills and your radio's capabilities using FRS, which is Family Radio Service, MURS, which is Mobile Use Radio Service, and CB, Citizens Band, on Channel 3. All those on Channel 3. And for your hams, 146.420. So I encourage you to check in at the end of the repeater portion by switching channels on your radio. Hope I don't time out the repeater here. Don't forget that CB check-ins are from 6:30 to 6:45 with Dave, 439. His CB... Yep, I knew I was going to do that. His CB handle is 101 Mechanic. Keep notes on who you can hear. I know it will prove valuable in the future. And if it ever stops raining, we're going to schedule another potluck get-together. Look for that to happen in the coming weeks. Right? Also, excuse me, we are in the process of streamlining our check-in process. So please be patient with us if somehow we miss you. It will take a month or so to get all the bugs worked out. As you can imagine, we have 4 net control stations, and we're running 2 different methods right now. We're trying to streamline it into one. So we're trying to get everybody up to speed. It requires a lot of coordination on our part, so just be patient with us. All right, break. I got a quote for you tonight from somebody I don't know, because I've never seen this. H. Jackson Brown from P.S. I Love You. That sounds like a chick flick to me, so that's probably why I've never seen it. But I like the quote. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, Sail away from the safe harbor. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, and discover. Break. All right, it's time for our radio teaching moment. Well, it's not really a teaching moment. And this is strictly my opinion, something from my head. In my mind, there are three categories of people that own radios. Number one, there are radio owners. There are people that have a radio and use it infrequently and have limited knowledge of how to use it. Number two, there are radio operators, and those are people who know how the radio works and how to change channels and program their own radios. And lastly, there are radio communicators, and those are people that not only know how to operate their radios, but also know how to accurately and concisely send and receive important information to others. So I encourage you to always try to improve your radio skills. Someone may depend on you in the future. With that said, it's perfectly okay just to be a radio owner. We will forever value you being here. Right? Okay, the order of the net is as follows. First, we'll do check-ins. Then I'll read the AmRRON Intelligence Briefing, which always comes out the Tuesday prior. So it was let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 5 days ago. Okay? So it's always a little bit on the late freight, and a lot of stuff is stuff you already know about, but some of it may not be. So after the intelligence briefing, then we will move on to the Channel 3 project. Right? Okay, this is a directed net as always. What does that mean? Somebody has to be like an air traffic controller, otherwise we have a lot of collisions. So we don't want that. The net control station, so please hold any traffic until I, the net control station, call for it. And obviously any emergency traffic can break in any time, and we will try to help you if we can. Does anybody have any priority traffic? All right, nothing heard. Let's move on to announcements. Ladies first, please.
WRJX359 Karen.
Hi, Karen. Happy Easter, and please go ahead.
And happy Easter to everyone as well. I'd like to invite all the ladies out there to join in on the Patriot Ladies Radio Net every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. on the same frequency. We have different topics of discussion. Last week we talked about deer-resistant plants for your yard and garden. We have different topics every week, or we continue with gardening, etc. So if you know someone that's a little timid to get on the radio, just have them listen in, and then they can join in. Break. Sorry, brain fade. Anyway, we support one another, and we practice. This is WRJX359 Karen, back to net control.
All right, thanks, Karen. Yeah, I don't think where I live in Colonial Valley that there's any such thing as deer-resistant food. We tried that. Plants. We tried that. All right, thank you, Karen. Any other announcements?
605.
Hi, Greg. How are you tonight? Please go ahead.
Good evening, Doug in the net. This is WRPJ 605 Craig, and happy Easter to all. The IVAR Club meetings are at 6 p.m. the second Tuesday of every month. Wild River Brewery in CJ. The website is ivark.org. And on this Tuesday, the 11th, we're having bowfang training. Whether you're expert with a bowfang or you know nothing about it, we're going to start with the on-off volume button and go from there. And you should be able to set the basic functions, and I'll have a paper to give to follow the instructions. So it should be an easy class. And everybody can get proficient on their bowfang radio. The IVARC Net check-ins are on Mondays at 7 p.m. on the IVARC repeater on $8 Mountain, 462 PL 1413. After the net, we have a Channel 3 and a Channel 3 MERS project on the FRS and MERS 3. This is at this time we have At this time we have this for unlicensed radio operators and to check in along with licensed operators. And Doug, could you count this as my check-in? Thank you, and back to the net.
All right, I will count it as your check-in. Very good. And for those of you that want to learn the bail thing, that sounds like a neat deal. There you go. All right, any other announcements? Three, two, seven. Please go ahead, Wes. Okie doke. WRKU 327 to be specific. Tuesday night, typically at 7 o'clock. That's when we have not a net. That's your net where you get to tell us about your life. It's kind of like a radio call-in show, except you will actually get a chance to talk instead of being put on hold and then hung up on at the end of the program. So you'll also be challenged with a trivia question, not intended to be answered correctly, but intended to entertain. Tuesday night coming up is also the Southern Oregon Amateur Radio Club meeting. I believe that happens every second Tuesday at the Fruitdale Grange. Occasionally, if the program is uber fascinating, we'll cut the net short and I'll race down there and join, because like Doug and about half the other folks out here, I too am an amateur radio operator, also known as KD6EIR. There you go, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, probably not a net, right here on the mighty NV725. Back to net control. Thanks, Doug. You're welcome, and happy Easter, Wes. Any other announcements? All right, nothing heard. Let's move on to check-ins. Remember to check in with your full call sign. Stand by for me to call you. All right, we already had Henry did an early check-in, 573, and Cameron 644 via a relay an early check-in. So let's start at the top. WQRR 330.
WQRR 330. Satrap Green, Colonial Valley, and I've got wet feet.
You got wet feet, you said?
Web feet.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's getting a lot of rain. My goodness, is it ever going to stop? Well, at least it'll help for fire season. All right, thank you, Ron, for your check-in, sir. All right, WQWL 251. WQWV, as in Victor, 795.
WQWV 795, Stat Rep Green, Picker Creek area.
All right, Dave, we got you. Sounding good as usual. Thank you very much, sir. WQWV 800, Frank.
WQWV 800, Stat Rep Green, Colonial Valley. And happy Easter to everybody.
Thanks, Frank. Happy Easter. Give Mickey a hug and kiss for me. All right, WQYL 512.
WQYL 512, Stat Rep Green, Colonial Valley.
Perfect, Larry. Thank you. WQZA 709 Alpha.
WQZA 709 Alpha, Stat Rep Green, in Colonial Valley, and happy Easter to all.
Thank you, Carol. Happy Easter. 709 Bravo.
WQZA 709 Bravo. Happy Easter to everybody and doing well.
All right, Marcia, good to hear. Thank you. WRAG 842, Ed.
WRAG 842, Stat Rep Green, Merlin.
All right, Ed, thank you, sir. WRCD 602, Jeff. WRJE 628. WRJE 998.
WRJE 998, Stat Rep Green, Northeast, Grants Pass.
All right, George, thank you, sir. WRJS 656. Walter in Sunny Valley, are you with us tonight?
WRJS 656, Stat Rep Green.
Well, that's probably the best I've heard you. Are you at home or are you downtown, down in Grants Pass?
At home, it's just a weather thing. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not.
You sounded perfect. All right, Walter, thank you. Let's see, WRGX 359, Bravo, Karen.
WRJX 359 Karen. Stat Rep Green, Merlin. Happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you, Karen. WRKF 572, Bob.
WRKF 572, Bob at Stat Rep Green at the end of Leonard Road.
All right, Bob, sounding good too. WRKJ 318, Jason.
WRKJ 318, Stat Rep Green.
Perfect, Jason, thank you. WRKJ 746, Roger.
WRKJ 746, Stat Rep Green, Lower River Road.
Perfect, thank you, Roger. WRKN 603, JJ.
WRKN 603, Stat Rep Green, Shan Creek area.
Beautiful, thank you, sir. WRKN 799, Tony. WRKR 400 Alpha.
WRKR 400 Alpha, Stat Rep Green, Colonial Valley.
All right, Dave, perfect, thank you. 400 Bravo.
WRKR 400 Bravo, Stat Rep Green.
Absolutely perfect, thank you, Daryl. WRKT 668.
WRKT 668, Stat Rep Green, and we're out here in the Merlin area.
All right, Ralph, I got you this time, thank you. WRKU 327.
WRKU 327, Stat Rep Green, 9 mile marker, Lower River Road.
Perfect, thank you, sir. WRKV 487, Kimber.
WRKV 487 Kimber, Stat Rep Green, Merlin.
All right, there she is. Thanks, Kimber. 487 Bravo.
WRKV 487 Bravo, Stat Rep Green, Merlin.
All right, Andrew, thank you. 487 Charlie.
WRKV 487 John, Stat Rep Green.
All right, John, boy, it's like you're waiting right there. Good job. All right, WRKX 236 Stanley.
WRKX 236. Our status is all green here. Our location is near the saddle, I-5 saddle between Merlin and Grants Pass. I do have to say it was a terrific weekend, Good Friday, and also today, Resurrection Sunday, that we could actually spend some time thinking about the Lord pouring His blood out for the forgiveness of our sins on Friday, and then celebrate the resurrection today. So it's been a great day for all of us.
Very good, Stanley. Yes, thank you. Amen. All right, WRMI 433.
Whiskey Romeo Mike India 433. Stat rep, whatever color it is when the radio doesn't work. All is well.
All right, thanks, Scott. Yeah, you're a little bit more staticky than you usually are. So, but anyway, you're making it. That's what counts. All right, let's see if Will's around. WRMM 243.
Whiskey Romeo Mike 243. Stat rep green. Happy Easter, everybody.
Thanks, Will. Happy Easter to you. WRMP 481.
WRMP 481, Stat Rep Green. I hope everyone had a great Easter. And I'm off on Monument Drive.
All right, Carl. Thank you. WRMS 439.
Whiskey Romeo Mike Sierra 439er. Stat Red Green, and over here on Williams Highway and back to net, no traffic.
All right, thank you, sir. WRMS 972. WRMU 735.
WRMU 735, Stat Rep Green, Shan Creek.
All right, Jerry, sounding good, thank you. WRMW 211. Anybody from the 211 household?
WRMW 211 Alpha, Stat Rep Green.
Thanks, John. Anybody else want to check in?
I think we're good for tonight, but you could check all 9 of us now. So we got 1 slot left on our license with the new baby.
404. 404, please stand by. Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate that, and I'll check in Alpha through Echo, and then we'll worry about the other stuff later. Okay, let's see. WRNA, we're going. Oh, by 404, we're going by the list, and if we've never checked in before, we'll give you an opportunity. So just please stand by. All right, WRNA 957. WRNM, November Mike 425.
Whiskey Romeo, November Mike 425, Stat Rep Green, Southwest GP.
All right, thanks, Don. Whiskey Romeo, November Mike 427. All right, moving on to the double November, WRNN 591.
Whiskey Romeo, November 591, Stat Rep Green, Merlin.
All right, Tim, sounded good. Thank you, sir. WRNN 801, Bobby May.
Whiskey Romeo, November 801, Bobby May, overlooking Merlin, Stat Rep Green.
Thanks, Bobby May. All right, moving on to the 416 household. WRNQ 416 Alpha.
Whiskey Romeo, November, Quebec 416 Alpha, Stat Rep Green, Pottsville, and happy Resurrection Sunday, everyone.
Thank you, sir, and to you as well. 416 Bravo.
WRNQ 416 Bravo, stat rep green.
All right, Nathaniel. Hope I get to meet this crew at our next get-together. That'd be fun. All right, 416 Charlie.
WRNQ 416 Charlie, stat rep green.
All right, Beth, thank you. 416 Delta.
WRNQ 416 Delta, stat rep green.
All right, Grace, thank you. I forgot, do we have Echo, or is he going to be off for a while?
Echo shall return in 3 weeks on April 30th.
All right, be sure to remind me that he's back when that time comes. All right, thank you, sir. All right, now we move on to Ron, Belinda, and Izzy. WRNU 963 Alpha.
WRNU 963 Alpha, stat rep yellow, medical, family member, Belinda's dad.
Oh, is he okay?
Belinda's over in Lapine. He's having heart surgery tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. That's why you guys went on a little trip. Okay. All right, well then, you want me to check her in for you?
Yes, please. And then I got the little one here.
All right, I'm hoping you got the little one there. 963 Charlie, Izzy.
WRNU 963 Charlie, stat rep green.
I smile every time you start talking on the radio. Thanks, Izzy. All right, WRNX 787 Alpha and Bravo, Jim and Heather.
WRNX 787 stat rep green and Hugo for Alpha and Bravo.
All right, thanks, Jim. I have you and Heather both checked in. All right, WRNY 961.
WRNY 961, Hugo, stat rep green, George.
All right, George, thank you, sir. Let's see, I forget, was Craig's call, let's see, WROS 605, I think that's Craig. If not, somebody else please call in.
WROS 605, Dewey in Jacksonville, stat red green.
Okay, Dewey, yeah, got the wrong 605. I can't remember everybody's call sign. Thank you, Dewey. WRPG 496. WRPL Papa Lima 826 Alpha.
Whiskey Romeo Papa Lima 826 Richard. A couple miles south of CJ by the Big Cat Park. Stat rep green. No traffic. Back to that.
All right, thanks, Richard. Let's see, Sue around 826 Bravo.
This is WRPL 826 Bravo, stat rep green. Thanks for doing the net, Easter Bunny.
I'm the biggest, fattest Easter bunny you ever saw. Thanks, Sue. WRQC, Quebec Charlie, 598 Alpha.
WRQC 598 Alpha, stat rep green, Northwest Grants Pass, excuse the background noise. Back to net.
Background noise is good. It means you got families, people that love you. All right, 598 Bravo.
WRQC 598 Bravo, right here with Alpha. Back to net.
All right, Brian, yeah, I can tell by the same background noise. Thank you, sir. WRUA 709.
WRUA 709, stat rep green, New Hope.
All right, thank you, Ken. WRUD 451.
Whiskey Romeo Uniform Zulu 471, Ridgeview to Kilma, or Cave Junction, sorry.
see. Did I call the wrong number? I was calling WRUD 451. Stand by. Let me see if I can get 451 first. And that last person, what was your call?
WRUZ 471.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Jeff. All right. Let me move back to the list here. Let's see. That threw me a curveball there. Let's see. WRUD 474. WRUE 231. WRUK 693. All right, David, I could tell it was you, but you were very scratchy, but I have you checked in, sir. Thank you. WRUW 227 Alpha. Bravo.
WRUW 227 Alpha Bravo is out of town.
All right, Ben, I have you, sir. Thank you. WRV as in Victor L 404.
Good evening to you and the rest of the net from WRVL 404, Keith and Rogue River with Stat Rep Green. And sorry about keying up there earlier. I thought I was keying into a different repeater. I'm like, oh my gosh. Right in the middle of your net. My apologies.
Oh, no problem, Keith. Hey, none whatsoever. It happens, right? All right. WRV as in Victor, Q as in Quebec. WRVQ 563. WR Volkswagen 365. VW 365. We're almost through the list, folks. Hang on. WRVZ, it's Victor Zulu 729.
WRBZ 729, Stat Rep Green, Central Point.
All right, Jared, thank you. WRWA 617 Charlie. WRWC 549. WRWM 841. WRWT as in Tango 597. All right, let's see if Isaac is done on his end over there. WRFN 487 Isaac.
This is Whiskey Romeo, Foxtrot November 487 Isaac, Stat Rep Green. We had 16 on the ElkNet and we had 12 on the CB.
Beautiful, Isaac. 16 on the Elk GMRS repeater and 12 on CB. Thank you, sir. Okay, that is the list as I have it. Stand by. Give me about 10 seconds here to move things around, and I will give a call out for late missed and new check-ins. Give me about 10 seconds, please. Stand by. Okay, let's do it. Any late missed or new check-ins, please call now.
WRCD 602.
All right, Jeff, I have you. Thank you. Anybody else? Real scratchy. Was that Marty? I think that was you, Marty. I'm going to go ahead and check you. I'm pretty sure that was you. Said you were on a handheld, but I got you. Okay. Anybody else?
826.
All right. This the station with a 6 on the very end, somebody doubled. Will you try it again?
WRME 826, StatRat Green.
There's my lawnmower repair guy. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, and happy Easter. All right, anybody else?
My apologies, Doug. WRUZ 471.
Jeff, don't worry about it. Like I said, it happens, especially this time of the net. Thank you for your check-in. Anybody else?
There's a possible relay from Rogue River. If that station trying to check in Simplex and Rogue River is still trying or is still here, go ahead and I'll relay it for you.
WRKN 799.
It was WRVX 667, I believe he said. 404.
All right, Keith, can you give me the call again, please?
It got kind of stepped on, but I believe it was WRVX 667, and it's a station in Rogue River trying to check in Simplex.
Okay, yeah, I don't have him in my system yet, so. Well, I appreciate it, Keith. Thanks for the effort. I appreciate the relay. Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
Whiskey Romeo Foxtrot November 528.
Okay, Brian, I have you, and Tony, I got you as well. Thank you. Michelle, want to check in there, Brian?
528 Bravo is unavailable.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, last call for later missed check-ins, and if you have a new license, don't be shy. Come on, we're very friendly. All right, I'll have to make some adjustments later, but that's okay. I think I got it. All right, let's go ahead, and we are going to move on to the AmRRON Intelligence Briefing. We're still sitting at AmRRON Communication Readiness Level 4. To learn more about that, go to AmRRON.com. Level 5 is everything's absolutely peachy. Level 1 is it's the worst ever. We're at Level 4 because of the current political climate and the wars going on and all that kind of stuff. All right, stand by. And this is confirming what we all instinctively knew about the balloons, the spy balloons. From the Forward Observer Intelligence Services, Chinese spy balloon did gather intelligence on sensitive U.S. military sites. The surveillance balloon made multiple passes over some sites and transmitted the information in real time back to Beijing. Well, what do you know? All right, break. And also from Forward Observer, General Miley, I think maybe it's Milley, he said, lower the rhetoric on China. U.S. Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, or Miley, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, cautioned against overheated war rhetoric on Friday when he said that the U.S. was not at war with China and that Taiwan would not be an easy fight for China if they decided to invade the island nation. Break. And, of course, everybody knows about the Trump indictments and everything. We knew that was coming. Okay, let's see. Finland. Finland officially joins NATO. Finland's official membership in NATO has been accepted, and it places NATO on 810 more miles of Russia's border. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said Russia would most likely form an additional 12 units or divisions in the western military district facing Finland. End report. All right, this is what I consider one of the best parts about this whole thing, and it's the Channel 3 project. The Channel 3 project was developed a long time ago by a bunch of patriots, preppers, and other people, that preparedness-minded people. Let me give a quick overview of what it is before we start it. Stand by. And this is ad-lib for those of you that are following along with my script. Basically, if something were to happen, if you're new to this and you want to know what it is, let's say we had an earthquake or we had an extended power outage or something disastrous where it really affected a good percentage of us, we would use our radios every hour, the top of the hour, 2 minutes before to 2 minutes after. That would create a 5-minute window to reach out to people or to listen for people that might need our help. And we use Channel 3 FRS, MRRS, and CB, or whatever you got. Also 146420 for your hams. Right? If it were to become or is a regional event, that information would be passed to a general or extra ham radio operator with digital capabilities like myself or Ron or Jim or there's a few other guys locally here. And we would pass that information regionally to other people in AmRRON so they would know what was going on. And they would pass information back to us so we would know what was going on in their area, and we would pass it right back down to the Channel 3 people. So there you have it. That's a quick review. All right, let me break. Okay, with that in mind, the Channel 3 project has several consistent operators that have great coverage of our area. JJ and Wes are in West Grants Pass area. Cameron, who may not be able to be here tonight, is south of Granite Hill, but he's always there. He's a great help. Jim 787 is in the Hugo Merlin area. Dave 439 will be available on MRRS and FRS, and he's off of 238. All these guys know what they're doing. We kind of got the county pretty much encapsulated. So, however, if you're unable to hear the guys that I just mentioned, then step up to the plate and ask for Channel 3 check-ins in your area. Just ask for names, general locations. If you get anybody, report them to Ron 330 on the repeater. Break. Okay, again, JJ603 will lead the Channel 3 project, and West 327 will facilitate any discussion and or questions at the end of the Channel 3 reports. And Ron will keep track of things, Ron 330. Thank you all. God bless you guys. God bless the Republic, because that's what it is. JJ, it's all yours. It's got about 18 minutes till Mama time, so I might just check in on FRS and MRRS if I get a chance to. All right, WRDY 409, I'm out.
All right, thank you, Doug. Have a good night. With that being said, let's go ahead and start the Channel 3 project. We'll begin on GMRS Channel 3. After that, we'll move to MRRS Channel 3. And once we're done there, we'll go to ham frequency 146420. So let's go ahead and start the Channel 3 project. I'll see you on GMRS Channel 3.
And this is 330. Stand by waiting for the final check-ins on the Channel 3 project. If anybody needs a late check-in or new or something like that, I can take them right now too.
330, Whiskey Romeo November Alpha 957, late check-in if I could.
Okay, Joseph, I got you down. Thank you.
I heard him, Ron.
Okay. WQRR 330, standing by for the final check-ins on the Channel 3 project. Also taking late check-ins and any other things that somebody might think of. 330 here. If anybody wants to check in on AmRRON, they're doing that now. So here's your chance.
Hey, Ron, this is Kimber, wanting to say hello and good night and happy Resurrection Day to all you people out there. It was so lovely hearing you again. With that said, this is WRKV 487, clear.
Yeah, thank you, Kimber, and thank you for keeping up the checklist. You filled in some places. I'm trying to keep two of them going at the same time, so you filled in one of them when I missed it, so great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. I saw you doing that, so I don't know if you're doing the other program yet. I'm still trying to download Windows on my Mac using Boot Camp, and that's a little interesting thing here, so I'll figure it out somehow. And thank you, and good night, Grandpa.
Thank you, and good night, Mary Ellen.
10-4, 487 clear.
WQRR 330. If anybody wants to check in on the ham frequency, 146.420. Here's your chance. They're just moving over now. 330 here. I'm going to move over to that 146.420 myself. So I'm going to drop off of this one. I'll be back. 330.
439er.
WQRR 330. I'm back. Got checked in. I'm waiting for the final check-ins on the Channel 3 project. If you got questions or if you got anything to report, late check-ins, I'm willing to take them now.
330 439er.
330. Go ahead, Dave.
We had 10 on the CB project.
Okay, got you down for 10. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ron. Happy Easter. Catch you later. We're clearing the channel. Whiskey Romeo Mike Sierra 439.
330 591.
330. Go ahead, 591.
What time is the CB check-ins?
Dave, you still there? You can answer that for him.
I would be happy to. We do it from 6:30 to 6:45, and then Medford usually picks it up from 6:45 to about 7:10. But I usually monitor it right to 7 o'clock, so I'm hanging in there. But I'd like to do it 6:30 to 6:45.
Great, thank you. 591.
You're welcome, 591 439er.
WQRR 330, standing by for the final check-ins on the Channel 3 project.
603 with project Channel 3 project check-in numbers.
Go ahead.
Did you copy me, Ron? All I heard was a squelch break.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I did copy you. Go ahead.
All right, we picked up 24 GMRS, 21 MERS, and 18 ham.
Okay, that's pretty good on FRS. 24 and then 21 on MERS. That's pretty high too. And then 18 on ham. That's good list. So that's great. Good job, guys. How about Wes? Are you out there, Wes?
Yep. Let me confirm a couple more numbers with you. I think Isaac reported 16 on the Elk Net and the Medford CB with a 10.
That's right. And I got 68 on the regular net.
Okay, let me jot that down. And how about the Grants Pass CB? What did Dave do?
He had 10.
Okay. So you said 63 on the regular net?
3868.
You know how easy it is to turn a 3 into an 8? Well, I just found out. It's really easy. Alrighty, you've been listening to the Sunday night AmRRON net in the Southern Oregon Greater Grants Pass area. We've gone through all of the highlights for the net. We've had announcements. We've had check-ins. We've had a description of the Channel 3 project. We have performed the Channel 3 project. We've heard the intelligence briefing and the quote of the day. It's been a very wonderful Sunday night. Also happens to be Easter. And I know it's fun for the kiddies with bunnies and colored eggs, but we all know the true reason was the Resurrection Sunday. So let me ask, are there any questions or comments I can answer before we close the net?
as always, has a question.
Well, Ken, I'm not surprised. And also, I have not given my call sign, which we do every 15 minutes on repeaters, and it's probably good to do it on Simplex as well. So this is WRKU 327. Over to you, Ken.
WRUA 709. On the Channel 3 project, I heard that you heard me and relayed, but I also heard several other stations call again for call-ins. Not wanting to double, I didn't go back on the air, but I wonder if I should have.
That is a brilliant question, and this is the way I understand it. I didn't read this anywhere, but let's go with this. If you hear stations, net control stations, replying back to people saying their call sign or their name, and you can be assured that they probably got counted for on the net. If you hear a station and you hear no reply, there's a pretty good chance nobody else heard them but you. And that's where the true purpose of the Channel 3 project is, and that is indeed doing relays, because that's going to be what we're going to have to do in the event that there's not a repeater. We're going to have to relay traffic from people who, from two parties that can't necessarily hear each other, and you as the intermediate. So now that you have your nice antenna up there, when you hear a station that you didn't hear a reply, an acknowledgement, let's say, go ahead and just, if you could grab a clear section of radio frequency where it's not too much traffic, just say relay, and then stand by, and then you're going to hear one of the net control stations who has it at that moment say, go relay, and then you could go ahead and give the call sign or the name of the person that you heard, and then they'll get accounted for. Does that make sense?
Yes, it did, except that I was trying to respond to the net control, or who I felt was net control at the time, and didn't get acknowledged. However, I did hear you relay for me. So that's why I wasn't sure if I should get back on the air or not.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you this. I heard you try a couple of times, and I did not hear a response from the net control station, but I heard you, so I thought, well, doggone it, I'm just going to say relay, and they said, go relay, and I said 709, and they said, okay, 709, thanks for the relay. So you got accounted for, so we were all able to pass traffic. It's only because I'd never heard anyone acknowledge 709, but I heard 709, so it was up to me to say relay. So anyone listening, that's kind of how we do it. If you don't hear if you hear a station and you don't hear them acknowledged, that just means that you need to be a go-between in between that station and the net control station.
WRUA 709. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. That's why I didn't keep trying. After actually 2 times I tried to respond. So I sat it out and listened to everybody else going on because it was pretty crowded. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting counted twice and skewing the numbers, but also wanted to make sure that I was somewhere out there and transmitting properly. Thank you.
330 comment.
Go 330.
I'm just wondering if Ken is hearing people that nobody else is, if he needs to become a net control for his area out there.
He might. We'll probably roll him into that. He's pretty close to Dave, and Dave basically has a clear channel station like, KFI in Los Angeles. He's he put a whopping antenna down there on Williams Highway. So as the crow flies, Ken, what do you think? Do you know exactly where Dave is? But because I think you're about a mile or two from him, maybe.
Yeah, I doubt if we're a mile apart, or pretty close anyway. I think he was the one that you told me might have had his antennas skewed in such a way that I was in a dead spot for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's another good reason for relay stations, because antennas aren't, pure donuts. They don't have absolute perfect coverage, particularly when you have other antennas around them. And Dave's probably got a few other antennas all around that, that dual band UHF VHF antenna. So there may, every once in a while, you get this null, and you very well might be in a null for Dave.
Well, there's some others that are in that null, and that Ken could pick them up.
So that may be the issue. I'm also thinking I may need to bring this antenna down and push it up a little bit higher, but I'll need some help to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I copied you, Ron. We'll research that in the future and see if we can't. What Ron was saying is that you might, there may be other stations in that same null, so you might be able to pick up those stations in the same null. So as soon as my right hand stops tingling, I'll come over and help you push that up.
Yeah, thank you. No rush on that. Just an observation that I might not have put it up as high as I should have.
Well, you got extra coax land there. Might as well stretch it out, right?
I've got more coax than I have push-up, but yes, that's not a problem.
Oh, man, I could go into a terrible place with that push-up. Anyway. So any other questions for the net before or comments for that matter? Okay, it's been a wonderful net as usual. I want to thank Doug for running it and Ron for being the brains behind the scene, taking care of all kinds of logistics and databases and all that kind of stuff, and JJ and all the Channel 3 net control stations, Jim, Cameron, Dave. And you've been listening to the AmRRON Net, which meets at 7 p.m. every Sunday night. AmRRON stands for the American Redoubt Radio Operators Network. And it's a nationwide disaster preparedness network made up of patriot-oriented radio operators like you and me, who aim to help during times of disaster and civil defense. Tuesday night, we're probably going to have
not a net on this very repeater, 7 o'clock. We want to hear about your week, your day, and you'll also probably, maybe possibly just join to hear the trivia question that you'll be challenged with. Kind of like a radio talk show, but you don't have to be put on hold and then get hung up when the show's over, or get cut off by the show's host for that matter. It's kind of fun. Reset. The following night, Wednesdays, Patriot Ladies, Karen leads her kind of cohort of smart, capable ladies here in the Rogue Valley who practice their radios, and they talk about interesting things. I wish I would have caught the last one on Wednesday night because I want to know which crops are deer resistant and which ones they absolutely love to munch on. That was the last topic per Karen. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. right here on the NV725. If you're listening on Channel 22 and you say, hey, what's going on? What are these people doing? Well, we're on a repeater. And you too can talk on this repeater, but there's a couple things that has to happen first. One is you need to go to the FCC and get a GMRS call sign, which is good for your whole family for 10 years, up to 10 people, and it's $35. No test required. And you also have to get a radio capable of transmitting on a repeater, which is a little more technical, but not too hard. We transmit on one frequency and listen on another, and there's a sub-audible tone that gets encoded to get the repeater to open up for your signal. Reset. Let's see. I think I covered everything. I want to give a special thanks to Jeff, WRCD602, for the use of this repeater. And this concludes the AmRRON net for Sunday night. And I am Wes, Whiskey Echo Sierra, call sign WRKU327, now returning the repeater back to normal GMRS operations. Happy Easter. Have a great week.
Wes, the club meeting is on the third Tuesday of each month, and this coming Tuesday is the second Tuesday, so you should have a good net this time.
Oh, thanks, Ron. No conflicts. Well, then I'll be there. Yeah, be there or be square. Thanks, Ron. And thank you for your participation in previous Not a Nets. It's really fun. I love your stories. And we get to hear stories from Bobby May and Ken and all kinds of folks. I wish Misty and Tyson would get back on because she tells truly hilarious stories. I mean, man, that last time she was on, that was classic. It painted a picture that I cannot get out of my head, though I try. Anyway, thanks, Ron. WRKE327, clear.
Yeah, that was a classic. I do have another story about my cat, so I'll tell that Tuesday night. So, WQR330, clear.